The human being was made to question his reality. Here is provided a forum that invades and rejects the mainstream media, where ideas and topics of interest outside of the norm are free to flourish and grow in the strangeness and with objectivity that is their right. Join us now for a discussion from somewhere between the real and the imagined, between outer and inner space, where things just odd enough to be the truth have a place to live, breathe, and make their home. Recorded live from the jagged edge of reality, this is JAG Radio.
You had better believe it is, with our special guest host not knowing which way to point. You are on the jagged edge of reality. You are on the Super Audio Network, and you are, dear listener, once again on the show where guys get together to talk about guy things. Oh, but we are not talking awesome asses in the Amazon, always amazingly and abundantly athletic. Oh, no! We are talking, well, all types of anything tonight. I am Alex Martinelli here with engineer Dre Day All Day, George Antonio, Trini Lamelli, and special guest host, a man known only as Nagamune. What is up, everybody?
What's up, guys?
Mr. J.D. Marcel's crazy ass cannot be here with us tonight, but I guess that's all right because we have a full house. And as I've said before, and we'll see if one day he calls me out on it, I like Trini Lamelli better anyway. So
you know, I gotta stop you there, brother. I'm not feeling.
I love that you know how to take a compliment so well.
I'm not feeling the intro song.
Our song?
No, not at all, brother.
Wow. Well, thanks. We appreciate the ambush here on the JAG Radio show.
I'm just letting you know. I'm being honest.
No, I do. It is somewhat a weird. Wow, this is fucking great. Good start. Good start to the night there, Trini. Fantastic. Calling out our intro. But do you mean that it's a bit too? Because I do think sometimes it's a bit too philosophical for the nature of the show as it generally is.
I'm kind of more on the lines of, say, some AC/DC, some, some
I
Pink
knew you were
Floyd
going to say that.
Copyright infringement, dude. This is original stuff, man.
Yeah, but Dre's all about that. He steals shit all the time. So
Dre, the thief.
It should be called the Steel Network. You know?
All right. Well,
I thought it was just because of durability.
Hey, I thought you were going to get if there had been a Good Geeks podcast, maybe you could have chosen your own music. Just saying.
Hey, George, can you pull the knife out of my back?
The knife. No, but I do. I do kind of agree with you. I do. We may consider that because so many. I mean, the show. The theme song is true to the show's original vision, which I think we've strayed quite a bit from. Generally, George is holding up a tiny space
penis.
symbol.
Tiny.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey,
thanks for letting us know,
sorry,
but I don't
guys,
want to talk about that.
All
That's
right.
between
Anyhow,
us.
let's move on.
All right.
No, it is a valid point. Thank you all for joining us on the JAG Radio program. No, speaking of things that have nothing to do with anything paranormal, Mr. Lamelli had a uncomfortable scenario at the Good Geeks headquarters where we came from before the with pooping next to somebody.
What? Oh yeah,
Holy
dude.
shit! Is that what you guys talked about?
Well, bro, I mean, okay, look it.
All right.
I'm a dude, okay, and I'm okay with using the restroom, with other guys coming past it. But what fucking irks me is when I'm trying to take a dump, and then somebody tries to take a dump in the next stall to me. I just don't want to be next to some other dude taking a dump.
No, I know that feeling.
I'd rather have that guy next to me taking a dump. Honestly.
Really, would you?
Yeah.
See.
So that way, because I blow it out. So if that guy next to me is blowing it out more, I'm like, dude, I'm not the worst here.
That's okay, but the part that bugs me is when you try to have a conversation.
No, don't talk to me while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
What?
And I won't give out names or whatnot, but so this other Good Geek employee.
Yeah.
By the way,
I totally know
what are the Good Geeks? Well, they're a local organization. Let's all talk about the Good Geeks for a second.
Who is the Good Geeks? Oh, hold on. Oh shit.
These guys
I'm not affiliated with them at all.
Anybody in the Southern California area, you need your smartphone repaired, you need a hotspot that works all over the nation, get your ass to Good Geeks headquarters, man, or goodgeeks.com. That's GOODGEEKZ.com. All right, that's it for my horn.
Or if you're just super hot, come by the store.
That's right. That was awesome. Then get hotter.
No judgment.
Good Geeks headquarters. Anyhow. But so no, I'm with you, man. It is a weird thing, and it's funny because guy or I have no idea how women do it, but for dudes, there's a lot of sort of tacitly understood shit, a lot of unwritten, pardon the pun, a lot of unwritten rules in terms of how you behave in the lavatory.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody wants to be talked to. Nobody wants you to look at them.
And so this guy wants to talk and have a convo, and I'm like, fucking dude, I'm here, I'm taking a dump, and I'm also on my phone because it's my, my space.
Everyone does that.
Don't fucking talk to me.
Oh,
you know?
my God.
You're a moment in peace.
Exactly. It's my zen spot. Everybody knows this about me. That's where I have my all ideas.
That's
and
right.
You're fucking with my idea place.
Right. He's
You're fucking with my idea place.
he's making the quiet place noisy.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, so how's your day going? What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Fuck no.
I was just trying to take
I'm
a
like,
dump.
no.
I was trying to rub one out too, and you're just fucking up with everything, you know? It's like...
Love that. No, and I think what it is on a scientific, from a scientific standpoint, you're very vulnerable when you're doing that.
My pants are down.
Yeah. And
my ass is on a seat, and my dick's hanging out.
Right, and so literally, I feel like if we were out in the Havana... Oh, you're on the Jag Show, bro. That's the least of the... you'll hear... The listeners will hear a lot worse than that tonight, but... we just lost like half the audience.
Oh shit!
It
says 0 on the screen.
Now. Right? Oh, how dare you? We don't point that out. We never point that out.
I hope it wasn't me.
No. Well, now that you've mentioned it, now we know it's out there. It's all right. No, but it's when you think when we were out being primitive out in the Havana, as we call it in the show, when we were primitive man, you were essentially defenseless. I mean, think about it. The closest we can get, I mean, if you imagine living in The Walking Dead, that's what it was like minus the zombies for primitive man.
Shit,
just
man.
Everybody out on their own, everybody trying to take what's theirs, and the most dominant wins.
See,
and
but
all
there
that.
you would take a shit just on the savannah, and then people would watch
No,
you.
but
Yeah, you
my
wipe your
point
ass
is
with a
yeah, my point is that you're vulnerable. Like someone can come up behind you and crack you open with a rock.
Yeah.
And I think this sense that like don't talk to me, don't anyone bother me, I believe is left over from those days. Because really, your ideal situation, if you're pooping in the wild, is that there's nobody around, so you know you're safe, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you hear voices or people rustling leaves from nearby, there's a sense of, oh, shit, I'm not alone. And I think we've evolved. The ones that survived were the ones that like to be alone.
Let me cut this fucker off because I need to button it up right now.
Right.
No, but anyways, whatever it came from, man, it's not cool. Don't talk to me.
Right.
You know,
It's
don't
not
let me know
cool,
you're
don't
here.
talk to me.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's nobody wants to be in there for one.
Exactly.
We all want to be at the we all want home field advantage for
Exactly,
that, and
man.
we clearly don't have it.
That's enough of that.
Right. So, Mr. Lamelli, before we got into the studio, we were talking about a catcalling experiment that you were telling me about. We decided to bring it up on here. Catcalling, of course, is when a lady gets unwanted attention, usually a lady, from a gentleman on the street, usually of a sexual nature. And you were describing that there was an experiment done or something like that. You find it disgusting.
Disgusting.
Right.
Pitiful.
Despite you
Anyhow,
doing
so
it.
this woman,
on the way here, Trini got caught staring at a girl and
it was something
pointing
in my
at her.
eye, brother. I was like, I was driving. Okay, imagine me driving, and I'm like, motherfucker, and then I just happened to turn around.
He was pointing her out to everybody in the car, and she looks over and he waves at her to play it off.
She felt it, dude. I think she felt it.
She did.
Yeah.
No, and that's a real thing.
Yeah, but she was wearing leggings, bro. It's like, that's just an unwritten rule. It's I'm gonna look. I can't help it.
Tell us about
How'd you know she was wearing leggings in a car?
Because I saw
He's
her.
that
dude.
good.
She was standing outside.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you I'm a Reyes, and it's just in my blood.
You're
my
what?
genes.
You mean you're a
My last
Lamelli, you
name?
jackass?
Yeah. Oh.
Wearing those pants.
Wow.
He's
Anyhow.
he's adopted, guys.
Anyhow, yeah, man, it's in my genes. So, anyways, long story short, this lady did an experiment. She went out to, I think it was Bonnaroo. Is that a festival?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she pre-recorded cat calls, right? Just like, hey, what's your name? Hey, you got a boyfriend? Hey, why you stuck up for? Why aren't you talking to me? Why you being a bitch?
He's catcalling her these things.
Yeah. So she pre-recorded all this, and then she made a makeshift booth, sound booth, and the idea was that she wanted men to come into the booth, put on headphones, the type I'm wearing. She blacked out the booth, and it was just the guy with the headphones listening to all these pre-recorded cat calls. Right, and she wanted the guy to go ahead and put himself in the shoes of a woman walking this regular street in America right now. And so the guys were listening to this for a couple of minutes, and it made some of these guys tear up. They felt uncomfortable, they felt vulnerable, they felt disrespected, and that's what she was trying to invoke. So the guys walked out of there almost, I guess, changed men, thinking about, wow, this is really tough. Like, a girl can't walk down the street just to walk down the street without having to cover everything up, put her head down, and get to from point A to point B as fast as she could. So it was a social experiment, and it also struck me because I thought about it. I'm like, you know that, I mean, it is fucked up, and I wouldn't want to know that my, anybody, any female that's a family member or just a friend, to have to feel the same way. And so it struck me. It hit me. It hit you.
Hit the marrow of the bone.
Yeah. So that is a fucked up situation. So, anyways, long story short, that's what happened.
That's interesting. I mean, and it's fascinating. Okay, first off, I agree with you. I think guys that catcall are the scum of the earth, and they're always fucking loser guys that you see doing that. Like, it's never CEOs, yes. It's never professors, it's never people of high standing in society. Yeah. It's always just the fucking lowlives on the street who do this kind of thing. And listen, us here on the Jag Show, the Jag Ops, we're you listen to the show for any length of time, we're pretty gross. Yeah. But I am not and have never been a catcaller. And look, I get that the counter argument can be made that there are bigger problems in society, certainly bigger problems facing women. And I believe, as me and Mr. Naga here, when we were discussing this pre-show, he brought up the fact that, well, to be fair, because Naga doesn't see it, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you don't see it as necessarily that big of a deal simply because the woman isn't being physically assaulted.
That's correct.
Right? She's being, they're just words. And to be fair to that argument, if I call George, whatever, a fairy or a mean name, it's really up to him or anyone whether or not they're insulted by it.
Yeah.
Right? Because words are nothing. Words are just sounds that people make. If you're insulted by words, that's more about you than it is about the person saying them.
Yeah.
Right? I can be called any name in the book ever and feel zero and feel nothing. Right. But that being said, the thing about it too,
but I think what's happening, man, is because the male is looked at as a dominant, as an aggressor,
right?
And
that's what I was
feel they feel the submissive, maybe in danger, so possibly objectified or whatever. So that's probably what's happening.
Yeah, no, it is. That's interesting. Yeah, because I think the from the female side, it is also a primitive reaction, much like the talking during dump taking, which is my safety in danger right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they have to consider that. Because, okay, for instance, myself, I'm not a catcaller. I'm a starer. Okay, I do look, and I feel bad for that. Okay, but it's just
don't feel bad, buddy.
Dude, it's okay.
No, wait. I'm not saying because I'm fucking giving a shit that you guys judge me. I don't like it. Okay, I need to change.
Why don't you like it?
And just so you know, I do judge you.
I fucking judge you all the time. I judged you when you walked in today.
Thank you.
Saying he's rather cute today, rather handsome.
Motherfucker, man. Why is this guy coming in here?
Hey, can I introduce something real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right, check this out. You guys talking about catcalling and all this shit. You like to look? All right, here we go.
Dre's got something.
Crotch
it looks like
crotch cam.
What the hell
Good old Dre.
Crotch cam was hired by UN reporter. So is this like a hidden camera?
This is a study. Okay. This is a study put on by the UK.
What on earth? So we're looking at a pair of legs here.
With a large penis bulge.
Right. So, okay, on a guy?
I was hoping you guys didn't bring that up.
Interesting. Okay, so they did a study where they gave a guy a crotch cam, and we're filming what he's looking at. Look at the lady. Yeah.
That bitch wants this dick.
For real?
She is thinking about it. Just one more time. Oh, I can't think about this. I am a woman. I have a man. Look at that. I'm married. I have a big ass ring on. Let me just think about it. Yes, I'm laughing about it. She looks at it again.
Man,
don't worry
her
about
legs
it.
are getting excited too.
She's thinking about it. Yeah, she's moving her legs like a cat, like a dog waving its tail.
Oh! Bitch wants this dick. There it is again.
Yeah.
She wants it. And I give it to her. I give it to her, and then I give it to her friend.
Oh!
Look at that. Wow. Shamelessly.
She's looking into my heart.
This girl's staring right at the camera.
Can you believe it? No. Check these bitches out. Oh, sorry. This bitch, she don't give a fuck. She just stares. Stop looking at my cock, woman.
Her friend's trying to talk to her.
She's like,
what are you saying?
Holy crap.
Now she looked away for a second.
Yeah.
Wait. And she's back. Look at this.
She's right into it.
I love that there's classical music.
Can you
playing
shut
behind
up,
this.
please? I'm busy.
Oh wow,
that's what she said.
That's funny, yeah.
All right, let me see. Is there one more? Can I give you one more? Let me give you one more.
Let's do one more.
All right, here we go. Oh, this bitch. She keeps looking. She's staring.
She's looking right.
Yeah, she's thinking about it like I could fit that all in there.
This dude's looking too?
Is he looking too? For real?
I don't know. There's a question mark.
Yeah,
He's
looks
looking.
like he is.
No, he's looking.
Oh shit! She's licking her
licking
lips.
her lips.
He really wants to, man.
Oh, I love these bros.
She's getting closer and closer. Photo. Now she wants a photo.
Oh my god.
She's taking a fucking picture.
Oh
Okay,
shit!
That's
Stop
awesome.
it right there.
All right.
No, see, if a guy did that, you might get you'll get your ass kicked by guys wanting to be heroes.
Oh yeah.
She could call the police and you'd get arrested for indecency or whatever the hell. That was in the interest of gender equality, ladies and gentlemen. Here on the JAG Show, we don't discriminate. We go both ways.
Please, ladies, look at my dick.
The double standards here, man.
Yeah, no, it's.
Don't feel bad, man.
Oh no, man, you just fixed it for me right now. That was awesome.
Naga just said, "Look at the." Although to be fair, those ladies are the freaks in society. They're the freaks among us. And I
hell no. That's
why.
So you assume basically everybody's conservative, right? All females
No,
are generally
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm saying those are the wildest. Those are the wildest. Like the girls that'll openly stare. Those are the chicks that want the big dick.
Well, maybe all of them do.
Tells
We just
the
don't
girl
know.
that he has a very large penis.
They are. Women do vary. I mean, some girls want the big bank account or the success or the big any number of things, and there are ladies who just want the peckaroo, and that's cool, man. We don't judge here on the JAG Show.
Bigger than this, man.
That's right. But back to the original discussion before we were so dramatically interrupted. No, but thanks for that, Dre. That was a good contribution, actually. But we were talking about the reason why. It's kind of making a hard left here, but the reason why it's awkward for females is because men are the natural predator, right? We are bigger, we are stronger. I think
How many times do you hear a story of a woman raping some dude?
Almost never. And
I would never report it.
And I was about to say I wouldn't mind it. Honestly, I would just be like, no, that happened. Shit, like that.
Well, shit. When like for example, school teachers take on a student or something like that,
a woman,
all the fucking kids would be like, "Motherfucker, yeah!"
No, meaning when it's a female teacher with a young dude.
Yeah.
But
no,
it's vice versa though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
all
vice
hell breaks
versa. It's
loose.
like this fucking pervert.
No, and that is interesting because it's a trip, and when it's the woman doing it, say a 25-year-old girl with a 16-year-old guy, I almost don't mind it.
Yeah.
I almost think I don't really care. Like,
I think a lot of guys are kind of like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his dad's probably like, holy shit.
I think there's no guy that would say anything about
no
that.
to that. Yeah.
Then again, like 16 is pretty all right.
Into the no. That's Naga just said 16 is speaking to the mic, buddy.
Yeah.
Nalgas.
So
Speaking
16.
of nalgas.
Nalgas?
Nalgas, huh?
Speaking to the mic, Naga.
Pretty cute. Then again, the age of 16 is pretty considered consent in a lot of countries,
and in a lot of states in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
16?
Like I believe
14.
Texas is one of them.
Yeah, I think
16.
Right, especially I think parts of the South and possibly the Midwest. I think a lot of it is 16.
And I think there's also some states that are as far down as 14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
U.S.
14 is the youngest.
I believe so. Yeah.
14 is the youngest in the U.S. and it's 12 like in Europe.
Why do you know this?
Because you got to know.
He's like, hold on, let me bring you.
No,
when you're traveling interstate,
I get around, man. I got to know these laws. No, I do believe 14 is Hawaii, and I think nationwide. I think the Vatican City is like 12.
12 for altar boys.
Yeah. It looks bad. It's a bad look, but I wouldn't. I had some close calls with some. Anybody have any personal stories about teachers when you were in school?
Fuck no, I wish I did.
Naga's time to shine. It looks like.
Oh no, Mr. Naga.
Well, I wasn't there when this happened. This was after I left high school, and it was actually here in Bell. And
shout out to the Eagles.
And
well, they've had their share of TV time.
Yeah, they did. And this is one of the teachers that I had. I keep forgetting his name, but he was actually more of a substitute teacher at the time when I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And it was found out like around 2011, 2012. I can't remember exactly, but around that time, I find out that on the news that he got arrested, and apparently he got like because everybody knew that he was gay. He straight up said that he was gay,
right?
And everything.
Came out to his students.
Yeah, he came out to his students. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, he wasn't ashamed of hiding it, but he had a sexual relationship with one of the male students there, you know.
Wow.
And apparently he got into some real deep shit, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can.
Of course. I mean, yeah, of course he's gonna get into real.
Well, had
he
been in Hawaii, you wouldn't have that issue, man.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
He chose to be a teacher.
But you still can't sleep with your students.
Oh,
what?
Still
You
laws,
can't?
there's still laws against that.
There is laws against it. Yeah.
There is. That's what a lot of people. That's the chief argument against this. Is even if it is a guy with a hot feet, and they're always attractive. You guys notice that? The female
teachers?
Like,
Oh yeah.
predator
Most of the
teachers,
time.
they're always hot.
The ugly ones are just not being said. Like, nobody's saying shit about the ugly ones. Those bitches are getting plowed, and then the kids just be like,
Yeah, nobody cares.
He's like, I ain't gonna say shit.
Not even the media.
yeah, nobody's saying shit.
And they're like, oh wait,
He
it
was
will
like,
pass.
she hot?
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was Miss. Hold
Hold on, give me a second. I'll find some ugly teachers. There.
No, hold on. No, hold on.
I can tell you.
It's yeah. Thank you for researching the shit on my point there, guy. It's like you fuck Miss
better delete your
Anderson.
browsing
Oh
history
no.
right after.
Well, we heard you did. No, fuck that, bro. I don't go near that. Okay, well she's saying you did. No, fuck that. No, no, yeah. And it's funny. I think to myself, God, where were these teachers when I was around?
Yeah.
And it must be a hard job. You know what I mean in that respect, because some of these teachers, man, I knew in high school, I knew 22-year-old teachers who were teaching seniors. So 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That's, not a big...
You got a chance.
Everyone's an adult.
That's a chance.
You know what I mean? But I feel like as the administrator, that's a tough place to be. And the chief argument against this, against the idea that, oh, good on the guy for doing it, is, well, the adult, the teacher in this case, is abusing their power. And I think, here's the thing. I think this comes down to the fact that young males and young females are wired very differently. I've talked over and over again on this show about how if you have a young girl who maybe her dad was an asshole, wasn't really around, she grows up with this enormous void for male attention that she then tries to fill through sex a lot of the time, or at least other forms of male attention. These are the look. Show me a 14-year-old girl on the street wearing booty shorts or uber tight leggings or whatever it may be. I'll show you a young lady whose daddy wasn't much of a daddy.
I don't know about that.
No, absolutely. And well, my point is that's when these are the girls I think that get preyed upon when the administrator is male, when the teacher is a guy. Now, because young males are basically monkeys, that doesn't really come into play if you ask me. Yeah. Most young guys are like, hey man, I get to 16-year-old guys, I get to bang a 25-year-old. I mean, shit. You know, why the hell not? Especially if they're as attractive as the teachers that catch media attention.
But you know what? I think
this.
Sometimes the students, they know they're attractive because obviously women, when they're in their 11th and 12th grade, they're developed, right?
Oh, especially now.
I remember back in high school. I think I mentioned this to you, Lamelli. One time we had a PE teacher, and I used to work. I used to work at this corner liquor store, and I used to stock, sodas and shit like that. And then one day I saw this guy. Well, let me just backtrack. So this PE teacher that I had, he had these teenage girls that were super gorgeous, man. They were so developed and they were super flirtatious with this guy, right? He wasn't that bad of a looking guy, but the whole thing was he would always have these girls just piling, hanging all over him, right? And they were fucking gorgeous, super tight shorts, fucking thongs and shit. You can see right through their shorts and shit, right? And I was like, God damn, right? So
I love that when the perv comes out in
George. No kidding. I mean, you got to admire creation. So the whole thing is, one day when I was stalking sodas and shit, I saw behind one of the racks that same PE teacher walking up to our magazine rack at the store, and fucking went right to the porn fucking mag section, right? Started fucking leafing through it and shit. So the motherfucker, he was definitely into it, right? He had to have been into it with the teenage kids, but fuck, I mean, he's not invincible. Goddamn, he's not invincible.
No, and it comes back to again how hard it must be for some of these people. If you're a guy, not even a pervert, just a guy with a high sex drive, and you're surrounded by all these young females.
Fuck,
that's why. Listen, all of you guys, if there's any of you listening, keep it in your pants, man. For God's sake, don't. If you're in education, stay the fuck away from the kids. The ladies too.
Resist temptation.
Right, man. Be strong. Do
you think that's why there's mainly more feminine in academia, like in elementary schools and
teachers?
Middle schools?
Well, I would say
like more females.
Yeah,
there's obviously a disproportion, right?
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact that there's a lot more female teachers within like elementaries.
Right?
Yeah, there is.
I think because it's a mother nurturing.
That's what I was thinking. It's not necessarily nefarious. It's not like every fucking dude out there who is just trying to molest kids. That'd be horrible. Yeah. But I think it's mostly that women in that age group maybe want kids themselves and love kids, and it's the whole I want to be around young children, whereas most dudes don't.
So do you think if two people of different sexes were applying for the same position of, like, say, first grade or some shit, do you think they'd give it to the girl, to the woman?
I wouldn't say that. I think there's just probably a lack of guys applying for.
I would say yeah, man.
I would say yeah too. Honestly, I think what you're saying, Lamelli, is true. I think there's certainly a disproportionately smaller number of men applying for those jobs, but I do think, all things being equal, who's better with the kids? Probably the woman.
Or who would they trust with the kids, right?
Maybe I feel like you're getting into some underground stuff. We'll talk about that. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is, I think there's always like an unwritten rule with they don't trust males with small kids or some shit, or I think that's the case.
How does she look? Is that ugly enough for you?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Oh man, you took all this time to research.
Thanks for shitting on that point. Yeah, appreciate that.
Ugly elementary teacher has sex with.
But see, that's why it's a headline. That's why it's a headline.
That's fucked up that that's a headline.
But I'll tell you, it's the headline because they're usually attractive. When an ugly one does it, it makes the front fucking page. It makes the ABC HD 15 news, for fuck's sake. That's what I'm saying. They're usually hot. When it's an ugly one, something's gone wrong.
They don't put up the hot ones, because if they do, then all the kids are gonna see this and they're gonna go like, well, I know where to go now.
No, they do put up the hot ones.
You don't think kids are gonna be like, oh, they see a bunch of ugly teachers, be like, oh fuck, I should be having sex with my ugly teacher.
No, that's right. Yeah, nobody would do that.
Nobody's
like, no, I'm good.
I'm pretty sure they know which ones are hot.
I'm gonna keep trying for the cheerleaders.
Dude, by the way, let me just show you this little list right here. List of teachers busted for sex with students. Let me just show you that. Look.
There's a list. Fantastic.
Age 25, 26, 23, 32, 33, 26, 30, 20, 24, 38. The list is on and on and on.
Jesus H.
Kids getting plowed by teachers.
That sounds wrong, man.
Dre's into this.
All right, back to you.
Dre Day all day just showed us a list of teachers who had sex with students. It's a mile long. It's like DMX's rap sheet.
Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah. Christ almighty.
Now to the weather.
But George, you weather and traffic and weather.
Well, 101 guys is
on that happy note.
You're about the airplane landing on the freeway.
Yeah, anyways, landing.
An airplane did crash land on the 405.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And apparently, what would you guys do, man? Would you guys?
What would I do?
I would pull the guy out of the plane and then look for his wallet.
At least you're being honest, brother.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have to look for his wallet, know what his blood type is.
You know what I ask him for? Ask him if he's got a hotspot. I mean, do you have internet? That's what I would ask.
And if he doesn't have a hotspot, Trini, what should he do about that?
Goodgeeks.com, 877-871-6231.
No.
www.goodgeeks.com.
What you do is you pull him out the airplane, right? You pull him out and then you wait. And when the air news shows up, then you use goodgeeks.com. I saved this motherfucker, goodgeeks.com. He was dying, goodgeeks.com. And then I pulled him out of the airplane, goodgeeks.com hotspot.
No, I give him my business card as well, just in case I put him in his wallet.
Right.
Every other word, just goodgeeks.com.
Like, I just throw business cards everywhere. Leave them all over the plane.
including one where his wallet used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. No, but would you guys step in and help? What would you do?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm the type of guy that if somebody on the side of the road, I always stop.
Yeah.
I'm a trained first responder.
Nice. Good to hear that. Yeah. No, somebody did step in and help. An off-duty, the plane, when it landed, actually, and talk about fucking divine intervention or whatever the hell, some classic JAG stuff. The wing of the plane actually clipped the truck of a off-duty firefighter.
Oh, wow.
Who then stopped and then went in and helped people get out. Although, talk about too, a ride or die bitch is there was a man and a woman. They're married. They're on the plane, and the lady goes in and helps pull the guy out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're both injured. They're both hurt, and she helps get them out and get them to safety. And before this firefighter, apparently when they talked to the firefighter, he saw her doing that and thought, okay, she's in, I'm in too.
Yeah.
Yep. And
he's imagine if he didn't. Everybody would be like, whoa, fuck.
Well, there goes his credibility. You know,
he was over there filming it on his phone. And
and apparently there was a lot of that because that's the society we live in now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it used to be.
Now, hold on, this guy's burning right now. Hold, can you fucking stop screaming?
In the past, it used to be people just watching.
Right.
Like people would just stand on the curb and watch people die.
Yeah.
I think people are scared of fucking court shit.
They're
scared of being sued now.
Yeah, now I mean,
I think people.
But there's laws against getting sued.
Really?
It's Samaritan laws.
And I think those are fairly recent, right? Because I remember
if
hearing
you're doing CPR and fucking break somebody's rib, now they're coming after you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is I remember there was a case a couple of years ago. I don't remember where this was, but I believe this happened at a nursing home, of course, where one of the patients started having a heart attack or going in a cardiac. Something happened where he's dying, man. And so the staff there calls 911, one of the nurses or one of the aides or what have you, and they release the recording of the 911 call. And you can hear the dispatcher being like, okay, well, we don't have any units immediately in the area because I guess the place was sort of sectioned off or walled off or something where it's tough to get to with an ambulance, right? So she said, look, it's going to be a while before we get there. She's telling the staffer this. Can you start doing chest compressions or CPR? You guys are you work in a old-timer facility or whatever it was. You must be trained to start doing something. And the woman goes, no, we're not allowed to do that. And the dispatcher's like, what do you mean? Because apparently the dispatcher had enough information to know that if someone didn't act immediately,
they would die.
That's right. And so she says, get going with these chest compressions. And the lady's like, I can't. Well, why not? We have protocol against, there are rules that say we're not allowed to actually put our hands on patients. Okay, but if you don't, he's going to die. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Wow.
Ma'am, and they go back and forth. She's like, ma'am, this man is going to die. You need to do something immediately. Do it now. And she starts getting assertive, like, go, do it right now. And they, no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, and then eventually the dispatcher changes tack and decides, all right, look, if you're not going to do it, then please get somebody who is, we're actually not allowed to touch patients. No one here is allowed to touch patients.
Wow.
Long story short, the guy died.
Oh, wow.
The guy ended up dying because they couldn't get help to him soon enough. And this person refused to act. And it's funny, when this happened, I was talking to one of my coworkers about this, and we worked in a corporate environment, and he himself, this guy, your classic fucking company man, and I told him this to his face. I'm not talking shit behind his back. I'm like, dude, you're the biggest sell that I've ever met, where he was all about the company, all about his own profit and protecting his own ass, and he was straight up like, yeah, no, I wouldn't help either. Mm-hmm. And I said, really? He's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. It's not worth it. I would have said, sir, ma'am, help is on the way. This is him talking. Sir, ma'am, old person, help is on the way, and they'll get here when they get here.
Wow.
And there are people like that among us.
Well, basically, their job was more important to them. But then again, maybe they have some sort of disclosure, some shit, some rules in that place, because obviously it's a nursing home, right? So
right.
They are around that continuously, so they may have some really strict laws.
Right.
I would have said fuck the law.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
I could not live with myself if I didn't help. I don't care about my job. I don't care if I get fired.
What it is.
Yeah.
You're being a bitch.
No, I know. Yeah. Listen, you're telling me. We had a few drinks. We went out on a company thing once, and I called him that to his face. We were never the same after that. I cannot respect people like that. Oh, right. You guys want to take a quick breakaroo?
Yes, sir.
Dre, do we have a break?
All right.
Lined up. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.
Where the fuck is my mouse at?
Or not.
You have like dude, you have 2 mice.
It's all right. Take your time and find it. stay tuned for some more stuff. I'm about
Anyhow,
to do some
any of you guys
verbal
out there got any broken phones, broken tablets, looking for refurbished
broken
computers,
hearts,
or broken hearts, or maybe you're just lonely? Come on down. We're at 4357 Gage Avenue, City of Bell, California 90201.
Where?
877-871-6231. www.goodgeeks.com. 4357 Gage Avenue, City of Bell, 90201.
What's the phone number?
877-871-6231.
Get ready for a good time.
Thank you guys, and we'll be right back.
Sorry, man.
Facebook be trying to blame me, now this shit's all whack. Why they always wanna change things behind my back? And just cause I'm online doesn't mean I got time to chat. So don't trip if I don't poke you back. It's probably cause I'm working on a dope new track. And don't be mad cause I don't accept friend requests. And I don't friend every friend that my friends suggest. It's a mess when you're still friends with your ex. Make it hard to forget and move on to the next. Chatting online, can we move on to the sex? But can a guy at least get a call or a text? I'm vexed cause when it comes to friends I got quite a few. Not to mention the events that I'm invited to. So don't take offense if I don't reply to you. If you aren't on Facebook then this does not apply to you. I can't get off of the Facebook. I can't do it, no, I can't do it. I can't get off of the Facebook. Got the matter on me. I can't get off of the Facebook. I can't do it, no, I can't do it. I can't get off of the Facebook. And now you're probably like, who's this kid rapping on the microphone? Nowadays they got the Facebook app for every type of phone. Like it even matters though, cause at the end of the day, don't you know life ain't all about a status quo? But you still gotta watch what you post, cause your friends and employers are watching you close. And you might run the risk of rocking the boat if you accidentally mention your boss in a joke. If I had a dime for every picture I'm tagged in, or every little petty conversation I'm dragged in, I'd probably be a whole lot richer than I had been. Throw a huge party and make everyone the admin. It's kinda sad, man, this shit is really lame. I don't know why we keep playing these silly games. For some reason I still choose to do it anyways. Find me on the Facebook, especially on rainy days. I can't get off of the Facebook. I can't do it, no, I can't do it. I can't get off of the Facebook. Got the matter on me. I can't get off of the Facebook. I can't do it, no, I can't do it. I can't get off of the Facebook.
And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us through the break there. Let's keep talking about relationships, shall we?
Maybe.
Or at least sex and mating. Maybe. Hoping for a little more enthusiasm from Mr. Trilly Lamelli, who, by the way, seems to be making the shift from Nestor, as I call these serial monogamists that I do this show with, to he's busy with his phone.
I was taking a picture of this, man.
Thank you, man.
Put it on
He's
Tinder.
putting it on
Tinder.
Hey, don't knock my Tinder profile, brother.
Is it Tinder or Grinder?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Depends on how bored I am.
Which are you on?
Well, I'm looking for free dinner. So.
Nice.
Any ladies out there,
you
give 'em a
consider
call.
that the MO of most of the ladies on Tinder,
Yeah,
right?
brother. I mean, I've heard it from bitches before. I shouldn't say bitches, women.
Yes,
but,
you should. No.
But anyhow, yeah.
The bitch is asking you for food right away. She's a bitch.
Yup, that's right. That's
like,
how we roll.
man, you know, you could have every.
Just tell you got a sausage, man.
Right?
Sausage
I got a
sandwich.
sausage. You want a sausage patty?
Mm.
Anyhow, yeah, man. A lot of them, it's just for a fucking. Hey, what am I gonna eat for Wednesday night, Tuesday night?
That's
You
right.
know, you can tell right away if they don't want to have a date on a Friday or a Saturday. If they're trying to get you in on the middle of the weekday, it's because they're just looking to do something in the middle of the week because they're bored and they want a free dinner.
I don't fuck with you.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you want them to fuck with you?
No. Now if she's be asking me for food on the first night,
George, stop shitting on points. Would you please?
Dude, if a chick was like, if I was like, hey, what's up, girl? What's your name? You know, I'm a Capricorn. I do this and that. And she was like, where are you gonna take me to eat? I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I don't give a fuck.
No, that's right, because she's shown who she is in that moment.
Yeah,
she's giving you all the information you need to make an assessment. And by the way, it's not like she's not assessing you too.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you walk through the door, she's checking out your shoes or whatever it is. She's saying, okay,
and your crotch,
right?
Yeah.
We have video evidence of that. But she's assessing, okay, can this guy now provide me with that meal that theoretically I'm looking
drinks,
for, or whatever it may be?
Drinks,
yeah,
it's a business deal, man. So if you're she's trading with that, you got to trade with something else, man.
All relationships are that, I think. All relations, all marriages, all the whole thing really ultimately comes down to that's right. And I think Trini, as a businessman, see, but what I find fascinating in what you're doing now, Trini Lamelli stepping in as the expert in millennial dating in the absence of Mr. Marcel. For as long as I've known you, you've been of the type that I somewhat dislike. Meaning, you were what I call the nester. You were a guy who you were Mr. Monogamy, Mr. These ladies run the show in your life, and you kind of do what they want. And I feel like you are seeing the light, man. You're seeing the light, but you're turning over a new leaf. Yes, because you're getting a taste, if I may use your parlance, getting a taste of the buffet, as opposed to the one repetitive meal for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And doesn't it feel amazing?
Oh yeah, it feels great.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah, it feels great, and it's fun. It's a game.
All of this meaning Trini is now screwing around like I've been advocating for him to do forever, and as I advocate all men to do, have your fun. Don't settle down with one woman. It'll ruin the rest of your fun. Okay, let me actually make this point clear. You want to settle down, do it when you're 30 and above, or you have achieved your career, all of your career goals, or as close to them as you can get. Because being in relationships and being married, it's really an anchor. It's really that you now have to split your time, if it's fair, 50-50 with another person. And your time should be about you and advancing your life. And when you get too wrapped up in relationships, like some guys do, for various reasons, as Trini and I talked about, we had a
well, it's just healthier, I mean, if you
healthier.
Yeah, if you're with a good chick, it's awesome.
Yeah, no.
Hey, but I want to know, Alex, how many relationships have you been in?
Oh,
how many times have you been serious with a chick?
I did make the mistakes of being in serious relationships early in life.
So like 1, 2, 3.
There's been a couple. I've had a couple. Yeah,
a couple. How many girls have you dated total in your life?
Oh man, quite a few.
Well, how many?
It's been a lot. No, I don't know.
What's the number?
I won't be put on the spot like this on my own show. How dare you? How dare you even try that with me?
All right, man.
But
let me tell you, I've had sex with 30 plus women, and I'm happy to settle down with my chick. I've tried the field. I've had my time.
In a row.
I don't know about George.
Dre's king.
Did you play the field, George?
Yeah, I did.
Did you play the field a lot?
Actually, I played the field while I was
These guys are king of these guys. You guys are king of the nesters. I get it. Yeah. That's fine. But what the point I'm trying to make is Trini is now stepping over the line.
Well, I'm just trying something different,
Right.
I've done the whole nesting thing, and I know what it is, so I'm trying something that's maybe against my own grain, and it's fun, and sometimes it's not. It's all a game, it's all the, hey, what's your name? What do you do for a living? What do you like to do on your off time? Blah, blah, blah.
That's part for the course, though.
You have to.
On the media that you are searching these people out, that's part of the course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah,
you don't look for like a monogamous position in something.
No, but that's even
especially on Tinder, bro.
Yeah, no, that's even like I mean, for instance, there's a couple of them where it wasn't on apps. And it's the same thing, you know. It's
the crowd now.
You're trying to get to know each other, so it's the same fucking answers that you gotta ask all the time. And half the time I'm bored already, you know. And it's like, do I really want to meet you? If I want to meet you, it's an investment. Now I gotta make time to go out. Okay, I obviously want to look good, so I gotta make sure I'm wearing the right things. Okay, now I gotta
You smell good.
You smell good. You got to take her out for drinks, you know. And the thing that bugs the shit out of me is when you take them out to, you know, to say have drinks, you're expected to pay for the fucking drinks. Now, I don't know where this rule came
love that
from.
That's what gets treated.
You know?
She's fucking up my damn money.
I'll tell a chick on the first night, hey, we splitting this, right? We splitting this?
I believe the word is called being a gentleman.
Yeah, no. See, I am a gentleman. I'm the type that will open the car door for
No,
them.
he is.
But the shit that bugs me is when they don't reach for their wallet.
Yeah,
okay?
they don't even try.
As long as if you put they reach in their purse and they acted, okay, that's cool. I'll take the benefit of the doubt that they were gonna pay for it, but if they just didn't and the check came and like they're just sitting there, I'm like, this bitch, all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
she goes down in your estimation in that moment for sure.
I think it's because she's assuming that you're pursuing, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're the pursuant,
that's what they're programmed to believe.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of them sort. And also, here's the thing: when you put yourself in the position as pursuer, you're giving her the power.
Yeah.
And I say the power belongs to me.
She's a yay or nayer. I mean,
she's not if you play it right. Well, not if you know what the fuck you're doing. Absolutely not. And here's the thing: is when you see, here's the thing: when you put out this sense that like she's the gatekeeper and you're so willing to give away your own power, you attract women who will leverage that, aka bitches, aka women who want to dominate, aka women who want to wear the pants. And I'm saying guys don't need to do that. I think we need as men to figure out a way to, and there are plenty of guys doing, to keep your own sort of, you keep the power position in this thing.
So
you don't give it to
equality, then you're looking for equality. Because I think in the
absolutely.
I think in the majority positions, it's like the male is the dominant one. So the chicks kind of understand that position, right?
Well, you're supposed
in society. I think it's kind of like that.
I mean, it's
because I wouldn't want the chick that I'm dating or whatever to pay. I'd pay for everything.
Well, see, I'm not
even reach into her wallet.
Okay, well maybe I'm just fucking burned and tired of that, and I care a lot more about my money.
Yeah.
But it's just like
because you see it as a short term,
and as guys should, as anybody should.
It's a business transaction. You know, if I'm gonna if we go out and I'm having a good time and having drinks or whatnot, and I'm gonna shell out, you know, a bill, you know, for the night.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do this whole funny fucking hug thing, and then walk away. It's like, well, what did I, you know? I mean.
No, and the thing is, you know, the thing is you gotta look at it as like, you're not buying food for both of you guys. You're having a great night, and is that great night worth $100? That's how I see it. So the thing is like,
okay, well, yeah, that's another way to look at it.
If I go out with a girl or if I go out with my boys, I'm gonna try to, you know, have a good time. So if I have the money to treat you guys or treat the girl, I'm gonna try to. But the same reason, if I can't, I'm gonna be upfront, be like, "Yo, we could go out, but y'all gotta buy your own drinks." I'll tell a chick like that. But do yourself.
What would happen? What would happen if you were on Tinder and you say, "All right, look, we're gonna split the shit down the middle." Yeah. She'd probably never go out with you.
Yeah. Well, at least you know up front then.
No,
but at least you know.
Be up front.
But at least
and you know what kind of woman that is.
Yeah. So that's the kind of angle.
Have you tried doing that?
No. So I'm not complaining. I'm tired of the Mr. Gentleman, and I'm actually kind of being the upfront guy.
Being a gentleman will not get your dick sucked. I'm telling you all right now.
Gotta be
it depends if the chick's looking for marriage and looking for a guy to use as an ATM. Yes, absolutely. If that kind of woman will. Yeah. But listen to me.
Bro, I've said please and yes, ma'am, my way into pussy.
No, trust me. Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna agree with him because I've done that.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is what we were talking about earlier, which is when your default position is I'm gonna pay for everything, you're gonna naturally find your way to women who will leverage that.
Yeah,
who all of a sudden you find yourself making car payments, paying rent, paying for her shopping sprees and all that bullshit. And what I'm saying is, guys, don't do that to yourself.
Well, she
and a lot of guys
paid,
and here's that's right. And that kid's not gonna buy diapers for himself. That other man's kid ain't gonna buy his own damn diaper.
No, but you know what else it is culture, because there's some cultures like Cubans, they do this. They buy a lot and they I'll buy this for you.
Oh, really?
And they floss, and there's even the Greeks, they don't have the money, but they spend it because it's their culture.
No, that's true. That's 100% true. And the flip side of that is that women in America will leverage that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe Cuban girls won't. In
Yes.
fact, it's been my experience. Asian women are less likely to leverage you for that.
Probably.
Girls who are first generation Latinas are not like that.
Probably just women from other countries in general that are first gen.
Right.
Or just
They're more
depending on the neighborhoods they grew up in. 'Cause
Yeah,
if you have
that's
a lot
right.
of guys that are flossing and doing this thing, they
Yeah.
expect it from you.
Yeah.
I've had that where they go and they expect it from me. I go, oh, I don't do that.
That's right.
I've ended the date right there. Like, we're ending it. Yeah, because I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
your environment influences you how you perceive things. You know?
Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. And it's also the daughters of the first generation are typically not as much. I mean, it's a hit and miss in that direction,
exactly.
but they're typically not. If you have a girl who's many generations over American, she's had it ingrained in her that, like, I'm going to be treated like a princess. That's right. And that is not what the fuck you need, boys. You don't want a woman who wants to be treated like a princess because your life is yours above all else. You understand?
I like princesses.
Trini, that's the bitch in you coming out.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
I'm not going to allow this. That's what we're
this.
trying to squash in you. We're trying to train you.
I'm letting the listeners know I'm not complaining. I'm talking about my experiences right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think the trajectory you're on now is a better one.
You know what it is? It's all a fucking game.
Yes.
You know, and it's the way
That's
you want
why
to
it's
play the
called
game,
the game.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes the game is awesome, sometimes the game sucks, sometimes the game's boring.
Well, why do you
fun.
think they call guys who are good at the game players? Because you're in it.
Hey,
you're in it to win. You're in
Hey,
it
you
to
guys
play.
remember that show on Comedy Central? It was called the Pickup Artist.
No.
You remember that show? I used to watch that shit. They try to do that shit at raves.
Take notes.
Take notes and
Yeah.
try it at raves.
Wasn't that like the show with that guy from Jane's Addiction, right?
I don't know.
Was it
Was
that
it?
guy?
Was that guy from Jason Addiction?
Or am I thinking it was some other show? I think that was a tattoo show. I can't remember. But they were both on the same channel, I believe.
Wow,
Hey.
riveting radio we got going here.
Hey, Dave Chappelle got the best pickup line.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah?
I wish I had more hands so I could give those titties 4 thumbs down.
I love that so much.
yeah,
No,
that's
do you
just
guys know if that'll actually work on a stripper, like at a strip club, because she makes her living off her body. So if you can just say something not so explicit, but if you can say something like, hey, you kind of have your ass is kind of like a guy's ass, or something like that.
Why would you say
No,
that?
trust me. Absolutely.
What was that?
No, and then what you say, and then you laugh it off, and everyone's laughing, but secretly she's hurt. Secretly she's like, "Oh shit, he just said that to me," and now guess who's got all the power?
I wouldn't even. What the
One
fuck?
What was that?
Wouldn't that eventually like give them the
Try it.
incentive to get themselves like a butt implant or something?
That's
like that?
right. Well, your goal is lower that self-esteem so you can get in there.
I don't even care about that. I'm just in the moment right now.
That's right.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I don't know. When I'm in a strip club, I'm not thinking that much.
Yeah,
so.
well, I know, but like,
I know. I'm a
eventually
dirty
that'll probably-
motherfucker. I hook up with strippers.
I'm just saying that probably eventually pay out because they'll make themselves look better.
That's right. There you go, and
Yeah,
it'll
but
make
you know
her
what?
more damn money.
Oh, yeah,
Here's
that's
a fucking
it.
question for you guys. All right, what do you guys think about artificial implants and shit like
Love
that?
it.
I hate
Nothing wrong
that
with
shit. I totally fucking
I don't
hate
like
it.
it, but
I don't like
I'm not
it.
mad if you
This
want
case
it.
right here, guys, it's made of plastic. I'm all about it.
I
Yeah,
don't care.
but come on, dude.
It's all natural, dude. I have to have it all natural.
Really? Why?
Oh,
What does it matter?
You know what? I hate the fucking thing that people try to be fake. That fucking bothers me a lot, man.
I don't know. I'm a greedy guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: is you've never lied to get sex?
Oh.
That's fine.
Then you okay?
No,
then
but
how,
I'm talking
He's
about,
talking about physical
physical
things.
augmentation.
what's the
man.
difference? You're being fake both ways.
But it's not. What I'm trying to
So
say is,
you're telling me if you could get a penis implant and it would make it just a little bit bigger, and it would definitely make it a little bit harder, and it would make it last a little bit longer, you wouldn't get it?
no, fuck no, man.
I would.
Even if your insurance covered it?
Not-
even if
not
Kaiser
fucking
Permanente
close,
said it, and your goal plan, you could get this penis
Kaiser
implant?
Permanente. No, not at all, man.
No?
Not at all.
Oh my
Not
God.
at all.
Now I
What
know
would you
he's
guys do?
lying.
What would you guys do?
Well, I mean, I think about the pain.
We're up
first,
against
but
the clock.
I mean, if it was a 12, if I was gonna do like a fucking 2-footer, I'm all about it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end it on that happy note.
There you go.
Thank you all for tuning into the JAG Radio Show. Joining us on the JAG Radio Show. Excuse me, I'm not even drunk. Where can they find us, George?
They can find us on jagradio.com.
And
Yeah, I know,
Twitter
the
and
Facebook,
Instagram
yeah,
and
I
JAG
know.
Radio. I don't know, whatever.
That's
Google
just
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Google
just
that.
They're
crap,
also
it's
on
fine.
Grinder,
All right.
guys. So just let
How
me know.
dare you. Yeah.
Jag Radio on Grindr.
Me with my obsession on men's asses. For engineer Dre Day All Day, George
Oh,
Antonio, Trini Lamelli, goodgeeks.com, And our special guest, Mr. Naga. I am
Mr.
Alex. I am Alex
Hey,
Marinelli.
stop making fun of my name.
Reminding all of you to never stop learning.
See ya.
Catch you guys later.
Good night.